p.m. on August 3, 2025, and a massive explosion rocks the city of Berdyansk in Ukraine's southeastern Zaporizhzhia region. People within a 56-mile radius could smell the sharp metallic stench of burning in the air, and a colossal murky smoke plume shot up a whopping 164 feet high, dominating the night sky. Within minutes, the source of this insane event was pinpointed. A $5 billion Russian military base occupied since 2022 was engulfed in a raging inferno in thick black smoke. According to Intel, a $10 million power substation at the base went up in flames, sparking this massive blaze. Shoddy firefighting efforts let the flames spread like wildfire, torching multiple areas and even knocking out power across the region. Here's the kicker. This wasn't just any base. We're talking about a hardcore logistics hub, the nerve center for repairing and supplying Russian tanks. How does a strategic stronghold like this go up in flames? Is this some kind of cosmic payback for Russia? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep this wild story rolling. Now let's rewind just a bit to 11:28 p.m. an abandoned weed-choked lot 11 miles north of the Berdyansk base. In the pitch-black darkness sits a beefy custom-built military truck 18 feet long, looking like something straight out of an action movie. This beast has a cargo area 7.2 feet wide, 6.6 feet high, and a volume of about 847 cubic feet. And what's inside 5 Switchblade 600 drones locked and loaded for a mind-blowing assassination mission that caught Russia totally off guard. It's 11:29 p.m. and the mission is a go. The bespoke truck's hydraulic doors slid open with a whisper, revealing a bank of 6 composite launch tubes. Each tube a stark cylindrical container measuring 6 feet 6 inches long with a 9-inch diameter housed a single Switchblade 600. No one was there. The entire operation was a ghost. A Ukrainian soldier located 25 miles away under the dense canopy commanded the launch remotely, because who needs to be at the party when you can run it from afar? On his rugged tablet, the fire control system displayed a real-time map of the Berdyansk region. He double-tapped the screen and a coded command encrypted with military-grade security shot through a secure satellite link. At 11:31 p.m., the launch rail lifted, tilting to just the right angle like a cat stretching before the pounce. The Switchblade 600, powered by a quiet little electric motor, shot into the night at about 70 miles per hour. Instead of roaring, it crept upward almost like it was whispering its way into the sky. Its connection back to base worked like an impatient DJ, constantly jumping between more than 100 channels every second so that no Russian jammer could keep up. If one station got noisy, it hopped to another in the blink of an eye. A backup relay drone circled nearby like a loyal sidekick, making sure the Switchblade never lost its signal. Even if the Russians managed to drown out the radio waves, the drone was ready to go solo, flying on autopilot with its sensors and preset path like a taxi that still knows its way home when your phone's GPS dies. Flying low, just 150 feet above the ground, the Switchblade skimmed the terrain like a ghost in the weeds. Hard to see, harder to stop. Its 11-mile trip would take under 10 minutes, but for the Russians it was the longest 10 minutes in the world. From his remote location, the operator watched a real-time, high-definition video feed from the drone's nose camera. The screen showed the dark, sprawling landscape punctuated by the faint glow of distant city lights, oblivious to the tiny, buzzing nightmare headed their way, with the Switchblade 600's telemetry reporting a proximity of 3 miles. The Berdyansky Zenovarki base, nestled in Russian-occupied Berdyansk, registered subtle shifts in its nighttime defensive posture. Under the cover of darkness, the base's industrial operations hummed relentlessly. Robotic welding arms repaired main battle tank chassis at a rate of 20 units per month, while automated guided vehicles moved 500 tons of ordnance into fortified subterranean bunkers. A crew of technicians maintained the machinery, their work illuminated by high-intensity floodlights powered by a single 110 kilovolt substation delivering 5 megawatts, energizing radar arrays, surveillance cameras, and perimeter defenses. The base's air defense, anchored by a Panzer S-1 system, projected a 22-mile radar envelope capable of tracking 4 aerial targets simultaneously with its phased array radar. Its 12-57E6 missiles reaching Mach 3 offered a 12-mile intercept range networked with a Buk M2E command module for enhanced situational awareness. The Buk's 9S-36 radar scanned a 120-degree arc out to 20 miles, boasting a 95% kill probability against low-altitude threats like the Switchblade 600. Augmenting this was a Krasuka-4 electronic warfare system. It's a 186-mile jamming radius designed to disrupt GPS and data links, targeting the drone's 256-bit AES encrypted FHSS signal. So many fancy gadgets, so little time. The Panzer S-1, valued at $16 million, stood as a bulwark with its 12 ready-to-fire interceptors.
The night was silent, too silent for a front that had seen nothing but chaos for months. A dense fog hung low over the forests and fields of western Russia, blanketing everything in a pale gray veil. On the horizon, hidden behind layers of camouflage netting and thick bunkers, stood one of the most fortified Russian military bases in existence, built with billions of dollars, protected by cutting-edge radar systems, air defenses, and layers of soldiers. This base wasn't just another installation, it was the crown jewel of Russia's war machine. For years, it had been untouchable. Supplies, weapons, tanks, and even aircraft rotated through its gates. Entire logistics lines fed into it, making it the lifeline of Russian operations stretching deep into Ukraine. Moscow boasted about it, calling it impenetrable. Generals swore it could withstand anything Ukraine threw at it. But what no one in the Kremlin realized was that Ukraine had already begun planning its strike months earlier, and when it came, it wouldn't be a strike like any other. It would be surgical, relentless, and shocking to the entire world. The silence before the storm far away, hidden inside an unmarked hangar on Ukrainian soil, a small group of drone operators prepared for the mission of their lives. And like traditional pilots, they wouldn't step foot inside cockpits. Their war machines fit inside crates. Ukraine had secretly assembled a new fleet of long-range drones, developed with both domestic ingenuity and quiet Western assistance. These weren't the ordinary quadcopters or modified FPVs that had haunted Russian trenches. These were stealth-designed, jet-powered drones, capable of flying hundreds of kilometers while carrying deadly payloads. Each drone had been armed with precision-guided munitions. Some carried explosives designed to penetrate hardened bunkers. Others were loaded with incendiary charges, meant to set fuel depots ablaze. Every pilot sat quietly, eyes fixed on screens, their hands hovering over controls. The mission was simple in words but nearly impossible in execution: infiltrate Russian airspace, evade their billion-dollar defenses, and cripple the heart of their military machine. Russia's false confidence inside the $5 billion base. Russian soldiers went about their routines. Some sat in mess halls eating hot meals. Others patrolled perimeters lazily, believing the radar systems would catch any incoming threat. Officers discussed operations for the next offensive, smug in their certainty that Ukraine had neither the range nor the courage to strike this deep. Russia's S-400 system scanned the skies, their massive radars rotating, watching. To Moscow, this fortress symbolized dominance. The Kremlin believed Ukraine's drones were only capable of harassing border towns and small depots. But what no one inside realized was that the real storm was already in motion.